how could you make electric car competitive? Because my first question is, how do you handle the weight? Is the weight where you'd want it?
So the Camaro was actually pretty good in the sense that it was like 51% front.
Okay.
So it was
Okay.
very well balanced and it was like 2,960 or so pounds.
Oh, that's
So
Wow.
lighter than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
yeah, we actually had to put some ballast in it to make weight for the 315 for the big mid.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So the way to fix it is, in my opinion, the perfect recipe would be it only had 430 volts. We need 750 plus. So um, you need the extra voltage. We need the amp hour on the batteries so they don't fall on their face. Like so they can. The batteries we had discharged very quickly, um, to the point where they would start like halfway through my second lap, the car would start to lose power.
Oh wow.
Uh, and
Wow.
it wasn't because the batteries were dying; it was just because like they were drained as far as like the amount of energy they could discharge.
Yeah.
Um, so higher amp hour, more voltage equals more power. And I think, in my opinion, it would have to be traditional drivetrain. So traditional gearbox, quick change, however you want to do it, and then have stageable motors. So they make electric motors you can stack and program. So if you get three of those electric motors stacked together, and you can almost create, you can program it to create a power band that mimics like a standard engine. Because the problem with the torque of an electric motor is it makes everything at the bottom and then makes nothing at the top. If you ever driven a Tesla, um, you
Yeah.
make it a hit in it, and it's like mind melting for the like 0 to 60, and then from 60 to 130, it's
Yeah.
like you're taking a nap. You know what
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean? So if you could have multiple motors that would deliver power at different stages of your power band, that would fix it, and you would still make your instant torque, um, and you would still have gears to control your wheel speed. Because that's the other thing is like the Tesla motor spins to like 18,000 RPM or something. Um, so the rear gear was very short, but you end up having still so much wheel speed off the pedal that it's kind of hard to control.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I could have a gearbox to still limit it, or have some sort of programming to limit the motor speed
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
to create gear ratio that way. Like if say I have like an electronic shifter
Yeah.
and it just does like sequential style up and down shifts. But
Yep.
say first gear only lets the motor spin to 6,000 RPM.
Yeah.
Second gear lets it spin to 12,000. Third gear lets it spin to 8,000, 18,000.
Okay.
You could create a transmission almost with that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of other ways to do it. There was a package we were trying to figure out how to get and work with these companies, but ended up being like, they wanted like $1 million
Oh.
for
Yeah.
for the motors and the electronics and
Yeah.
all the components to bolt it. Like they wanted an astronomical amount of money because it was one off, and
Yeah.